Well, hello, Faith Church family, and I love to use that term family because it does really describe what we are. For those of us who know Jesus as our Savior, we're a part of an eternal family, that we're going to be together forever. That's exciting stuff. Recently, I was I was with our extended family, our extended spiritual family in Fort Wayne with some other pastors and lay leaders. And Steve Jones, our regional director, was sharing a devotional. And it was very powerful. But in the midst of that devotional, I would say that I sensed and heard the inaudible but unmistakable voice of God. And he was saying this to me: Ken, your time at Faith is drawing to a close. This is a number of weeks ago, and I was, of course, not expecting to hear it, not anticipating hearing it, and I found myself asking the typical questions. Well, when is this going to be? And, well, where am I going? And what's this mean? And the one thing I felt like God saying to me very clearly was, you need to trust me. You need to follow me. And so for the longest time, we didn't know what that looked like or where we were going. And in many ways, we still don't know where we're going. Another question you may have is something wrong at Faith? Is there a conflict? Is that why you're leaving? And I cannot stress enough that that is in no way the reason I'm leaving. I get the privilege of leaving my role at Faith with good relationships and a healthy situation. I'm blessed to do that. Not every pastor has that privilege, but it's part of my story, and I'm thankful to Faith that that's the way it is. It's simply God saying it's time to move on. I've shared with our leaders this week, and preparations are beginning for a transition. You're going to have questions, as anybody would. And this Sunday after our second service, about 10 minutes after that service, we're going to have a Q&A for anyone who's a part of Faith. You don't have to be a member, just anyone who attends our church. Second service in the theater, a Q&A to be followed by just a closing prayer or two by a couple of our leaders, because we want to pray for the future as well. But any questions you have, you can ask. We'll do our best to answer them. I'll be on the platform with our board chairman, Mike Case, and we'll answer any question we can. And so please join us for that. You know, I'd like to say an apology to those of you who I couldn't give the heads up and you're finding out this via email. I really wish I could have sat down with you over breakfast or lunch or coffee and just said, you know, here's what's happening. But, you know, I'm unable to do that with everybody. I do want you to know, though, it's been a privilege to serve here at Faith. I came here 12 and a half years ago. 10 years ago, just this time of the year, the church was deciding to hear God's voice and to follow and say, we'll make Ken Snyder our lead pastor. I was this young guy with a lot of vision, a lot of energy, and a lot of excitement. And it took a lot of faith from the people of Faith to trust me. And I have failed many times, but I've grown up here. I've grown up in ministry, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I'd like to change some of the mistakes, the failures I've been guilty of. There's been many. But one thing I wouldn't change is serving here. I'll never be the same person because of the blessings of serving here at Faith Church. Years ago, I asked my father-in-law, did you ever know you had it that good when you were at that church, that one church? And he said, no, probably not till after I was there. I want you to know that while it's not been perfect, I have known throughout these last 12 years, and specifically the last 10, how good I had it to serve here. It's been a blessing. I count it an extreme privilege of my life to serve you here and to grow up with you here at Faith. We don't know everything that's going to happen, but we know God's in charge and we trust Him. I hope to see you this Sunday. The future of Faith Church is bright because God is in charge. He is our leader, and it's our privilege to serve Him faithfully as we can. See you Sunday.